Shalom Aleichem, meine liebe Freund. Ich heiße Mottel Didner und das ist 15 Minuten Yiddish. Mehr weniger. Jede Woche bringen wir euch eine Mini-Lektie in Jiddisch Sprach und Kultur von dem Nationalen Jiddisch Theater Volksbühne. Welcome back to 15 Minute Yiddish. If you've missed any of our past episodes, dai nicht. You can view them all online at nytf.org. Today, we'll take a look at our next 5 letters. Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, and Ayin. First, let's review what we've learned so far. Here are some words that use our first 13 letters. Feel free to jump right in once you get it. Bedacht. Sehr gut, Hinde. Bedacht means prudent. Its stem is the verb dachten, which means to seem or to occur to. This pairs with the reflexive sich. Es dach sich mir, als mir wären mevinim in leinen. Here's our next word. Yog. Sehr gut. Die Yog is a chase. Die Jogen in the plural. Jogen is also a regular verb meaning to chase. Here's our next word. Wieg.
Sehr gut. Wir haben sich schon gelernt, das Wort.
Talk about rockabye baby in the treetop.
Nu?
Here's our next word. Zat. Sehr gut, Sophia. Zat means satisfied, as in satiated, nicht hungrig. And here's another word. Hig. Close, Wayne. This is one of those words where the yud makes an E sound. Hig means local. And here's our last word. Dicht. Very close, Scott. But this time the yud makes an I sound. Der dicht means plywood. Probably not a word that's going to come up very often, but it uses our letters. Nu, yasher koyach alle. Ihr hat sehr gut gelernt. And now, on to our next group of letters.
Ladies and lads, introducing the Lord of Letters for Landsmen was haben lieb zu lachen und lernen. Look out! You don't want to lose it. Leave it all up to Lamed!
As you may have guessed, Lamed makes the sound L. Hinde, sei so gut und weiß uns, wie soll zu schreiben Lamed. Das ist Lamed. Adak, Hinde. And here's a few words with Lamed. Hey, I know that word. Loch. Good. Der Loch is a hole. Die Lecher in the plural. Ich darf das wie a Loch im Kopf. Here's another word with Lamed. Salb. Sehr gut, Sophia. Der Salb is a salve or an ointment. Die Salben in the plural. Let's do one more. Chalat. Sehr gut, Scott. Der chalat is a robe. Die chalaten in the plural. Our next letter is mem, and it makes the sound mmm. And I take this one very personally. Hey, Mottel! Aw, shucks. Hinde? Ot is mem. Adank. Here are a few more words with the letter mem.
Mitglied. Oh, we already know that word. A member.
Good. And one more. Tummel. Sehr gut. Der Tummel means noise or racket. Die Tummeln in the plural. Hey Moel, is that related to a tumla? Indeed it is. A tumler is an employee of a Catskills resort who makes announcements, leads games like Simon Says, and gets the crowds warmed up for the entertainment. It's a guy who makes a lot of noise. Hey, are you starting up again? Cholila. Mem is one of those letters that has a different form when it appears at the end of a word. We call this Schlossmem. Hinde, sei es euch gut. Und das is Schlossmem. A por mesholim. These are words that you already know. Sophia?
Dem.
Sehr gut. And here's a tricky one. Scott? It looks like it should be said Yom Tuv, but I know this word from Hebrew. It's Yom Tov, which literally means a good day or a holiday. And in Yiddish we say Yontif. Ausgezeichnet. Let's look at our next letter. Nun. It sounds like Hinde?
Und nun.
Here are a few words with the letter nun. Wayne?
Nose tickle. Like when you get a tickle in your nose?
Not quite. Das Nostichel is a handkerchief. Die Nostichlech in the plural.
Well, if you get a tickle in your nose, then you'll need a nose tickle.
Du bist gerecht. Here's another word with the letter nun. Hinde?
Oh, that says windmill. Does that mean a windmill?
Indeed. Die Windmill means a windmill. Die Windmühlen in the plural. And this leads us right into what happens when a nun appears at the end of a word. It becomes a langer nun, or a long nun. And this is how many of our plurals are written. Die Windmühlen, die Chalaten, die Joggen. Oy vey!
We also need longer nun for all of our verbs. Haben, suchen, wollen. Hinde, sei so gut und schreib longer nun.
Lange nun looks a lot like a vav, or a yud, but it comes down below the line of the other letters. So for comparison, here's a yud, and here's zwei vaven.
A dank, Hinde. Now to conjugate our verbs, we need our next letter, samech.
Weh is mir. Hinde, sei es euch gut und schreibe samech. Ot is a samech. It looks a lot like a schlossmem, but it doesn't have a tail over here. Here are a few words with the letter samech. Wen? Was. Was ist das Wort? Ja. Ja, was? Ja, was is das Wort? All right, Wayne, we'll get you caught up later. How about this one? Professor?
Subtil?
Close. This is one of those words where the yod is an e. Subtil. It means subtle.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
How about this one? Scott?
Moss.
Sehr gut. If you remember our lesson on poetry, you will recall that die Mos can refer to either the meter of syllables, or it can more literally refer to any sort of a measurement. And this leads us right into our final letter for today, Ayin. Hinde? Und das is an ayin. Ayin is a super helpful letter. It makes the sound eh. Die Mos is a measurement, and here is a related word. Sophia? Mesten. Sehr gut. This is the verb meaning to measure. Well, you know what that sound means. It's verb time. We're going to do verb time a little differently today. Let's try this with only Hebrew letters and no transliteration. Today's verb already has a samech tes before the longer nun, so you're going to see a lot of repetition. Let's take a look. Ich mest. Du mest. Sie es mest. Wir mesten. Ihr mest. Sie mesten. Alle zusammen. Ich mest. Du mest. Sie es mest. Wir messen. Ihr messt. Sie messen. Sehr, sehr gut. Mesten is semi-regular in the past tense. There is a vowel shift. And it pairs with a helper verb, haben. Once again, we see an ayin in our gimel ayin prefix. Haben gemosten. And we hold on to that longer nun. How is that? Not too painful? Es tut im Ganzen nicht weh. Gut zu hören. Now, back to ayin. Ayin is a super helpful letter. Of course, it comes in handy just like any vowel when forming words like leben, geben, ven, or zen. But it also jumps right in there when we need a little something something before a longer nun when forming certain plurals and infinitives. I'll show you what I mean. Murray. Oh, that's singen. Singen in dem Regen, no singen in dem Regen. Gut. Hinde? Blien? Sehr gut. Blien means to blossom. This is a regular verb in the present and the past tense. And here's a related noun. Scott? Die Bloem, die Bloemen. Ausgezeichnet. Ayin is everywhere. And those are all of our letters for today. Again, please review your reading and writing, and we'll meet again next week to learn about our next Fab Four letters. Pei, Fei, Tzadik, und Kuf. Derweil seid gesund alle.